Yeah, and they've got very likable personalities, and I was just saying that the rivalry since the Hon days is definitely here. NiP, all of their Hon players' complexity stay green. You know, they've got a history together, but the bans so far, you know, Shadow Fiend up against NiP, not surprising. The Alchemist is kind of a meta ban, and Wisp, Complexity, and NiP both play that pretty damn well. The Doom, kind of in the same boat as Alchemist, but look at this. We're seeing this sort of reversion back to Darkseid, Queen of Pain, Tusk, and what do you think comes up next from Complexity? Because they've kind of loved their pressure push play a lot over the past 3 or 4 months. Do you think they've changed up a lot recently? Yeah.
It's a team that they have like a
Radiant team ban.
Yeah.
Ten seconds remaining.
Yeah, I mean, even a couple of months ago, they were really loving things like the Huskar and stuff like that, and just knowing when their timing was. I think that was one of their best sort of disciplines outside of kind of not throwing away games. You know, they've definitely, well, honestly, they definitely got that down pat. They nailed it on the head for like MLG qualifiers and things like that. They were looking really good, and I think since this new patch has come out, they've been trying to kind of refine themselves. You know, get into the swing of things again, but they've been looking pretty good. NiP obviously a bit of a shocker last night. Not so great against Alliance in that game, but or that series in general. Where yeah, if I'm not going to spoil it. If you haven't watched the VODs already, please do, because I know a lot of people, like myself, I haven't watched the full game. I didn't get a chance to. I still have to. I've watched bits of highlights and I've watched the ending of it, but if you haven't, go and watch that game, because my goodness, we haven't had something like that in months. I think Knoxville said whatever. We'll go back to this game. Complexity, Ninjas in Pyjamas, Gyrocopter, Clinks both banned out. Now NiP, they've got the makings of some pretty good wombo combo here. I think Winter Wyvern, you know, for Seal Kid would be pretty good for the Darkseid Queen of Pain combination. Then Complexity Chasing Power is what they're looking at so far. Tusk Snowball, Remnant has Ember Spirit has mobility with his Remnants, his Slight Chains, and interesting. I know MJW has been playing, you know, a bit of Beastmaster, a bit of Nature's Prophet here and there, so decent ban out. But NiP, no Wyvern, Spirit Breaker, so they're gonna go for a bit of chase themselves.
even something that
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
Reserve time.
Yeah.
Radiant team pick.
Oh, most certainly. I was going to bring up the A myself, and you know, we don't have the lawnmower factor, we don't have the Darkseid, Iron Shell, Ember Spirit, Flame Guard, and Ice Blast flying across for coL, but Crystal Maiden, yeah, with that aura, give a bit of mana sustain across your lanes. Tusk really does value that quite heavily, and I think Tusk towards the off lane here could definitely work out for them. Ember Spirit does, you know, he does decently against the Darkseid, to be honest, with Flame Guard and an early Quelling Blade with Poor Man's Shield. You tank through the creep waves, you do decently that way. Okay, Okay, NiP, Bane Elemental. So Fiend's Grip Nightmare, you've got additional lockdown here for Ember, but you don't have that kind of team fight starter, right? Maybe Spiritbreaker charges in, gets another strike down. It's all a little bit finicky though. You know, there's no guaranteed, right, we're going in now until Darkseid gets Blink, until they get some items up and definitely levels on your Spiritbreaker. So would you like to see the Spiritbreaker in a support role, or maybe towards the offlane?
5
They have the
seconds
Darkseid.
remaining. Reserve time.
Hey.
Radiant team.
Talked about
Yeah, we definitely were. The timing push, complexity, Death Prophet. Now, I've seen this hero pop up a couple of times in FPL. You know, the NI guys have started liking her again, with Octarine Core being a very popular item. You know, reducing the cooldown of their ultimate and giving you the lifesteal back as well. From, you know, Crypt Swarm is a ridiculously strong spammable nuke. Honestly, you get so much regen back from it. It's pretty ridiculous.
10
But
seconds remaining.
how do we end up laning this? You know, Death Prophet, sure, against mid. I guess she does okay against Queen of Pain. The fact you can just spam out the waves and control equilibrium that way. Crystal Maiden will give the mana for the Crypt Swarm spam as well, so you're not too down on the mana pool either. Now, banning out the anti-mage I think was vital there. Just the fact that DP does have a decent mana pool and runs out of it pretty quickly once she's thrown out a couple of spells. So, Ninjas in Pyjamas, what are they left with now for Era?
10 seconds remaining.
Alchemist.
5 seconds remaining.
All the respect.
Reserve time.
Tiny.
Mm-hmm. Wraith King? I think Luna is more of an era hero, you know? The Luna could work here, definitely. But Wraith King, I feel, would kind of fit a little bit better. Oh, of course there's a Juggernaut. Yeah, that's definitely one of his heroes he's been running a hell of a lot recently to a lot more success than other people. We've seen it a little bit from Rabbit. You know, I think IG is one of the few teams that actually does like playing Juggernaut, along with Ninjas in Pyjamas. A lot of people have kind of, thought, hey, it's not 6.83 anymore, Juggernaut's not a hero, but Healing Ward is ridiculously good if you're both trying to push into towers and trying to counter the push coming in. Because healing yourself up and being able to sort of hold out a little bit longer and then re-engage into team fights is vital up against people who are just throwing spells left and right.
Reserve time. Ten seconds remaining.
Why Juggernaut?
Yeah, you free things up a little bit more. Now, this Spiritbreaker Docs here, I wonder if they'll run that dual lane that we've seen time and time again, where you can just charge forwards. Ember Spirit, the first 3 levels or so, he's not that great up against the amount of physical and magical damage. It's the mix that's the problem. You know, Hansken and Jonas can definitely pump it out. So MJW, he's actually picked up the Enigma himself. And I'm wondering, is this going to be heading off to the off lane? Is this going to be in the jungle? Because Way2 is on the Crystal Maiden, you've got Z-Freak on your Tusk, and this is all a little bit confusing for me. We did see a lot of Enigma offlane, what, TI2-ish era, you know, around that time. PGG was like the main person that was playing offlane Enigma, but that was just him.
Feel like you need a lot of jungle. It's not. I kind of.
Yeah, I think the big thing with Enigma in the offlane is that, you know, you're denying pretty much a creep per wave up against the Juggernauts. You limit his farm pretty nicely, and with his item build, Pool the Tango, he's got HP regen. Like, that is the one big thing that shouts lane Enigma, right? Because jungle Enigma, rush the Soul Ring, you go for a couple of clarities, maybe you buy
something like that, but complexity, MJW, offlane Enigma, and
Even got a Tango pooled.
yeah, exactly. It's pretty crazy. Now they're gonna go for this little incursion into the Radiant jungle with the snowball. I'll be able to catch someone out if they're out of position, but Ninjas in Pyjamas, they'll back themselves up. They've got this nice little magic bush ward down here, the sentry, so that'll block up large and pull camp, and observer ward will block up as well. So that's bot lane. Seal Kid, he's got sentries of his own, but like I honestly think that this pull camp needs to be balanced, because it is so detrimental for the Radiant side. You know, the people have completely abused this. The fact that people have found out, I don't know who started doing it first, but the double warding system, where originally it was like one ward in here and then one ward down here. It's so difficult to de-ward up and actually gain control again. Does Hansken get stuck on top of the cliff? No, he doesn't. He's fine up there, but Zizzy, yeah, chains back up in 4 seconds time. I think he should be okay. There's a charge in 5, but he's got the movement speed. He's 310 up against 300 and 290. Gets himself away. Now, how are we looking overall? So, Way2 on the Crystal Maiden. Probably just going to head into the jungle for a little bit, stack some camps up here. Swindles, Death Prophet towards the mid, up against Limp's Queen of Pain. And this is the lane that I really want to watch, because this can go either way, really. With both heroes having Null Talisman, and Zizzy up at top, Ember against Jonas and Fan, and Hansken. Dox, yeah, as well as a Spirit Breaker with Z-Freak heading up to top on the Tusk.
Quite frankly, it is already annoying to play against the Darkseer lane if you're Ember. Or any melee hero for that matter, but playing up against the Spirit Breaker as well, especially if your support is also melee, right? I mean,
yeah.
If you had a ranged support, say like a Dazzle or something that can continuously harass one of those, or could even like help you sustain in the lane, that would be okay. But this is definitely a horrible lane for the Ember Spirit, and I expect Hansken and Jonas to definitely win this lane.
Silky got it. It took him 2 sentries, but he's regained control. He's got his pull camp back. That's
nice.
He's got that going for him, which is nice. So now MJW doesn't have that overbearing advantage. Like in this situation here, the first couple of waves, he's managed to drag it back to his tier 1 tower. So he's going to get some good experience and limit the farm a little bit of era. But now that Seal Kid can start stacking, pulling, and dragging things back, they will be able to control this Enigma a little bit more, I feel. Now, how are we actually looking at mid lane? Because Limp has already taken a walloping from Swindles, the level 2 Crypt Swarm. Piling in the damage already.
Yeah, but as you said earlier on, both had like a similar start. I think both had 2 tangos pooled, had the Null Talisman, and then 2 branches and a cell. So I think actually both started with the exact same sort of like setup. And I think that Limp should sort of like have the edge, just because I think he's a bit more mechanically skilled. Like, no offense to Swindle, but don't think that I rather think that Limp could technically outlane him, especially since it's his signature Queen of Pain, whereas Swindles, I haven't seen too much of his Death Prophet lately, so I don't know how good he is with it, but I feel like if you play a hero, especially like on the mid lane that you're used to, it is much easier to execute than say play a hero that may strategically be better.
See, I'm in two minds about this. Like, half of me says what you just said there, and it's like, yep, signature hero. You've got the, you've got the experience behind you, the familiarity with the hero, but then there's the lack of familiarity maybe with this laning matchup. The fact that in competitive games you haven't had to play up against a skilled player on Death Prophet in a while. You're not used to the cooldowns, the mana cost, the kind of thresholds of where you can kill, where you can get away, all of these little nuances that you need to know, especially for the middle lane in a 1v1 vacuum. Because right now, there isn't going to be much rotation from the supports. You could see the Spirit Breaker charging down, you could maybe see a TP in from the Bane, but Queen of Pain likes to go on the aggressive early. With a 1 point in Shadow Strike, you want to be jumping forward and trying to zone out that enemy hero, but you look at the base damage here. Queen of Pain is not far ahead of the Death Prophet, and the Death Prophet already has a massive advantage in terms of nuke power over her. Limp has to use the salve already, whereas Swindles, he's running a little bit low on mana, but he'll get his bottle soon, and that'll even itself out. So I think that Ninjas in Pyjamas may have to switch things up and put a little more focus on the Swindles Death Prophet in a while.
Yeah. Looking at the bottom lane, and this is where I think the whole Enigma offlane kind of thing may or may not be as good as he kind of wanted to be. Yeah, sure, he denied 4 creeps because of his demonic conversion, and I think he even denied one just like that. But I mean, Era is just completely out farming him. We're just like completely outplaying him even. And once Seal Kid actually has like access to that pull camp again, which is going to be like in 30 seconds, I feel like, as you said earlier, like they're going to be able to contain and control MJW in this lane. And I mean, the good thing about this is you can still rotate into the jungle if things go really badly, right? If things go really badly, you can still go into the jungle, farm up there. You're going to catch up really easily. That's why heroes like Sand King, for example, or even Darkseer at a certain time were so popular in the offlane, just because they could always rotate back into the jungle if the offlane didn't go.
Yeah, Batrider as well. Like,
yeah.
I think the biggest one was Batrider. Just go into the jungle, farm up the camps, and get yourself Blink. But I think Bat was more of a, once you hit level 3, you go back to the jungle because it's easier to farm. You've got the efficiency. But Enigma, he's actually, like, this is something that I forgot to point out as well. Off-lane Enigmas, we often saw them go for the boots first, if you do plan on staying in lane. So I feel that him going for a Soul Ring here is a little more indicative of, like you're saying, him going back into the jungle, and then maybe they actually put the Tusk down there. Z-Freak could play this off-lane Tusk for a little while, and then they have Crystal Maiden Ember up at top, because maybe they go look for a kill up at top in a little while, but I'm looking at Complexity's lineup and I'm thinking there is this push coming. It's inevitable, right? Once the Enigma gets up to like level 5, level 6, the Death Prophet hits into like level 7 or 8, depending on her skill build. Because we never used to see the Exorcism come out at level 6. It was always, the majority of the time going for like a 3-0-4-1 build or a 4-0-4-1 build, where you get your max Witchcraft to get the most potent ultimate you can as quickly as you can. But maybe with the changes to the ultimate, they've kept adding the spirits, they've kept buffing it up little by little, even with the cooldown just being slaughtered completely over a number of patches. I'm interested actually to see where he goes with it.
It's actually kind of funny how Ice Rock just over several patches just kept buffing those exorcism ghosts. I feel like at some point the initial amount of ghosts were like, I don't know. Actually, how many are there in the beginning right now? I don't know.
8? Is it 8?
Yeah, I think
8,
it's
14,
8, yeah.
21.
But yeah, I feel like he just, every patch there's like an additional ghost just sneaking in. I'm pretty sure it at some point just started out with like 5 and now it's like 8. So yeah.
Yeah, because after TI3 it was like TI4. It was like, okay, right, we killed Death Prophet, screw that hero, put the cooldown up to 135, then it's still too strong, up to 145, and then slowly but surely he's just been sort of twiddling his thumbs, thinking, we killed her. We've got to bring her back to life somehow. Give her an extra ghost. Give her an extra. It's like the old Ice Frog. Give him 1 bonus armor. Give him 2 bonus intelligence gain. Give him, it's just the tiny little differences, but they add up. They honestly do add up, patch after patch.
But yeah, that's like the beauty of like the whole balancing in Dota anyway, the fact that they keep tweaking the numbers just here and there. And sure, it's just like a small. It may seem like a small number, but it does make sense, and yeah, and as you said, it does add up as well. So eventually, you see, oh hey, suddenly I have like double the ghost than I had like 2 years ago. So yeah, sure, I'm picking that hero again.
It's a viable hero all of a sudden. Now, Era down in this bottom lane. We've actually got a couple of mangoes in this game. What have we got? One mango a team. So both one-role heroes actually going for mangoes, the Jugger and the Ember Spirit. And this has come about mainly, I feel, because of the little buff in terms of gold cost of the mango. Because I always saw this item as being almost solely for offlaners, or being for like roaming supports that needed that little burst of mana to turn things around. But now it's more of a laning tool. You know, you use it for the lane. The 1 HP regen per sec is great for these heroes just to sit there and not need to bring themselves a salve, a set of tangos, or anything like that. But also, if you need that little bit more mana to go for the kill, go in for the extra searing chains, the extra little spin out from this Juggernaut, because his mana pool is pretty poor and his skills can get a little bit mana intensive. With the healing ward, it got changed from I think 90 mana at level 1 to 120. That's a pretty big nerf over on that Juggernaut. But we're back into the game, resuming things back up, and MJW, you have to keep these Eidolons alive. They are your laning hope. Keep them up and running. This Era, like you mentioned, is doing pretty well, 6-3, and now they can start controlling this poor camp. As long as it isn't blocked, I don't think that these sentries block it up. Like the camp is sort of this sized.
Yeah, it should be. It should be good. Oh, what?
Got it.
I think that's the sentry on the right then.
Yeah,
I think the left one is fine.
I'm pretty certain that left one is fine. Yeah.
Oh, Steel Kid has to be so mad. Like, I'm pretty sure he realizes now that it had to be his own sentry.
Wait,
because there's no way they. Yeah, it had to be. There's no way. I mean, yeah, it had to be.
I mean,
he wasn't even there.
It's his own sentry, but I'm starting to think if it's the one on the left now. Maybe it's because it's a really weird shape, this pull camp. I'm not sure if it's the one on the right. Oh well, he blocked it up. Things have gone wrong. Seal Kid gonna be a little bit upset with himself. I'll have to deal with it somehow.
They have double Iron Shell.
Oh, they do up at top. Good chains out from Ziz though. Holds them out. And Z-Freak. This Tusk getting into level 3 pretty quickly. But they're just here trying to defend this Ember Spirit. There's nothing they can do for the next, 30 seconds, minute or so to actually get up in the face. Okay.
What?
Frostbite onto the Iron Shell creep.
I mean...
they're holding the lane there, honestly. That's lane equilibrium held. Yeah. And the charge towards mid. Iron Shell. Up to Hanskin as he charges forward. But look at the positioning here of Swindles already. Oh, they're actually going in for this. Nope, TP comes in. Frostbite, no, it's the Snowball. Snowball and Shards, and this is a kill. Hanskin, the Shards don't block him in. Swindles can get another Crypt Swarm out, but it's too far away. And Limp, good damage back onto the Death Prophet. But if those Shards had kept Hanskin in there for another half a second, that was a kill.
I mean, if that was NiP's plan from the beginning, like calculating the fact that Hanskin is definitely going to survive despite a TP rotation, I guess that's cool, but that was a weird charge. I mean, the charge itself was okay, apply a bit of pressure, maybe if it was like a rotation, but that's when you like cancel the charge like right before you actually landed, right? Because he not only charged into the tower, but also into the creep wave. So he kind of should have died, but things went okay for them. I kind of gave a bit of space to the top lane for complexity. And Jonas, oh, he's dead. Is he? Is this another? Oh, he doesn't have slides.
Surge gets him away.
And this is, by the way, this is coming back to the fact that this was like a tri-lane for like the first 4 minutes, basically, because this is only level 3 Ember Spirit.
Yeah, a little bit down. Now, Era is doing an amazing... Oh, God. The hasted Bane goes in towards middle lane. Finds the kill over on Swindles. I was looking down the bot lane because Era just killing off Eidolons. Like MJW keeps losing one after the other. Look at this. Era sees he's used Eidolons. Demonic Convergence popped. He runs straight forward towards them because he knows that for the first couple of hits, they're not going to duplicate. They're not going to bring little buddies back up from themselves. And he can get in there with his Quelling Blade. He's got good damage. I think he 2 hits them. And they just melt.
Yeah, and I'm not entirely sure if this Enigma here is really doing the best job in terms of like keeping Era down. I mean, yeah, sure, he keeps denying his own.
All the body blocks. The body blocks up at top are real, and with the Iron Shell, the bash. Okay, Hanskin. There we go. Gets in there.
Get away to?
If he gets more bashes like this, the Shards. Z-Freak saves his
He has a
teammate.
charge though. He has a charge though.
Oh, he's not going to go for it. Maybe now. No? I mean, Way2 is there with Frostbite. And actually, this Crystal Maiden's level 4. And they've got Snowball as well, so it's a little bit risky getting in there. And, like, maybe you get the kill, but escaping isn't really going to be a possibility.
17%, man. I thought they fixed this with like the pseudo whatever RNG. I thought this was not this was not supposed to happen again. Valve, please.
Now, I'm not dropping
Dire's
frames,
bottom tower
but
is
over on my
under
Twitch
attack.
preview it looks a little bit laggy. So if you are experiencing lag, guys, that's over on Twitch's end, and not over here. So
Yeah,
apologies if
looks
that's
like
happening, but
Twitch.
nothing we can do. Era, 3 hits on the Eidolons, there's 1. MJW gets the stun out, and Era's trapped under this tower a little bit. Creep wave is still around, so he should be
Receiving
okay to
stack.
run himself back. And yeah, you're right, Snowball
Hansken's
forward, limp.
dead.
The DD Rune Hansken, he is dead with the on-shell on him. He still can't get through that little gap in the trees, so Swindles gets himself a nice little kill there. Now, how much of that stack did NiP actually take?
I'm pretty sure they took all the big ones. They used not only the Iron Shell from the Spirit Breaker, but also a DD on Limb, so they took a big amount there.
Oh, Limp has Sonic Wave. And with that DD still up, they turn back to fight him. Frostbite there, the damage is right there from Complexity.
Dire's
The
bottom
Queen of
tower
Pain, a little
is
bit
under
too big for her
attack.
boots. Meanwhile, down the bottom lane, MJW is Nightmared up, and Era, he's got the spin. Nightmare's taken back by Seal Kid, but it'll be fine. I'll get the kill. And
Oh, they
they'll
want
clean
the
up the
Eidolons.
Eidolons as well. Gold, gold, gold. Free money.
I'm gonna take your mama and you as well.
I mean,
Dead.
look at
Whole
this.
family slaughtered.
Era's on 42 last hits. Like, fair enough. Limp has 38, but a bunch of them, like you said, are from this creep camp over to the Dire side. But Era's been killing Eidolon after Eidolon, and with a catapult, they can try and take this tier 1 tower. Way2 is here and ready to defend, and I wonder if they'll TP in a few more people. But like I said, Swindles, it looks like he's going for the 4041 build. You know, you're stacking up your Crypt Swarm as well as your Witchcraft to get that exorcism a little bit stronger.
Yeah, the silence, I mean, it's nice, but at the same time, early on, it's not that effective. I mean, the cast animation is awful, let's be honest here. And there's not going to be that many situations where it's going to be really useful. I think later on, or rather, if Seal Kid had a better game, I think that's when you want to take an early level in the silence, just because the silence from Crob was just really good against the Fiend Spirit, right? But since Seal Kid, you know, it's just a regular support, he's not going to have an early level 6. Oh, Swindle, it's being slept.
Deary me.
This is Sonic Wave and a charge.
I was going to say he's got Crystal Maiden behind him, but it doesn't matter. The pure damage coming out of Brain Sap as well as the Sonic Wave, and the charge is coming across Hansken. He's seen the Tusk, and he's actually going to
That
stun
is
him up so he can't
bullshit.
snowball. They've got the kill. Hansken stops Z-Freak from saving his teammate. The Crystal Maiden drops.
How did it go to
The ward.
Z-Freak? Yeah, but that's like bullshit, honestly. I feel like it shouldn't do that.
But there's no one else there.
Yeah, I know, but that's bullshit, honestly. I mean, if you're Tusk there, or I mean, the Crystal Maiden would have died anyway, regardless of the charge, right? But still, I feel like if you're coL there, you're calling bullshit on that charge.
Yeah, like, how do they see me? What's going on? I mean, that kind of does give away the Observer Ward up on the high ground, but I don't know. The Tusk could have snowballed and kept the Crystal Maiden alive a little bit longer, and maybe they rotate in the Ember Spirit. Yeah, the Crystal Maiden's dead, but maybe they find something in return if the Tusk wasn't charged in. You never know. You never know. Where's Ember? Zipping back and forth, back to the top lane. How are we looking overall level-wise? Because the supports, yeah, they're pretty even, 5 and 5. It's the Quap and the Jugger, level 9 and level 8. And the Queen of Pain
Dire's top
rushing
tower
into that
is under
Orchid as
attack.
quickly as she can. And here we are, the situation I mentioned. Z-Freak down in bottom lane. Is now your off-lane Tusk, and MJW's in the jungle. Enigma farming away for his mech.
I feel like that's like a few minutes late, though. I think they could have done this like 2, 3, maybe even 4 minutes earlier, just because, again, I don't think MJW did that much on the offlane, to be honest. In fact, yeah, as we pointed out, he fed away Eidolons, if anything, so...
He reverse played it. You know, the
Yeah.
Enigma's supposed to deny creeps and stop Jugger getting farm, but it worked the opposite way. He gave him more
Looks like
farm
they
with the
want to go on
Eidolons.
Era.
Yeah, he's too quick on his feet. With the phase boots, he just gets himself away. Hansken.
Oh, he's in no man's land,
yeah.
but they have no vision on him.
I think they saw him there. Daytime and the long vision across the ridge. There's no way of chasing him down. So MJW jumps from jungle to lane, and where's he going now? Back to... Oh, he's going to Ancients. Farm Ancients with Enigma. There we go. One of the few heroes that can this early on. You know, Venomancer, Enigma. Just get your little creeps out. And take them down. But take a look at this. Ninjas in Pyjamas, they're ready. They see everything. And with the tower pushing in heavily from Era, we've got Glyph.
Oh, the charge is coming in.
Yeah, they're gonna Glyph, but it's all too late. MJW's level 7. He's got a black hole, but it's good timing. NiP, they take him out. With the honestly, with the Death Pulse down, Midnight Pulse. I'm going back to Warcraft 3 terms. With the Midnight Pulse down, the black hole there, then Tusk, Snowball. They could have turned that, I feel. You know, Death Prophet TP's in, and they take a good fight. But the fact that Limp has that Sonic Wave, he just throws it out at the last second, saying, "Nuh-uh, not happening. Nope, nope, nope." I'm wondering if maybe they could have baited it out and let him black hole and then killed him. And that would have been crushing. Middle lane, Swindles. Yeah, he's found. He doesn't have the Facebook drum's movement speed. The Snowball, not going to pick him up, just trying to stall out this play from NiP. But Era comes in with her swipes and slashes, and that's it. coL, 2 heroes down.
That is brutal. Very unfortunate from Complexity that during that tower push from NiP down bottom, they couldn't really capitalize on it just because Swindles was in the jungle. Usually when you see tower pushes like that, how you react is just like, especially since they killed the Enigma, what you do is just like push the other 2 lanes, right? You have Ember Spirit or you would have Ember Spirit and Death Prophet pushing the other 2 lanes, but Swindles wasn't in position, and Zizzy's wave also wasn't in position just because Jonas Van is just so annoying with those Iron Shells.
Oh, Era. He's got his Yasha nearly done, and this is one of the great things about Juggernaut, is that he starts peeking very early on.
Zizzy, there's a Fiend script.
Oh, the he's got it, he's got it! Just out of tower range as well. Okay, right, 2 seconds remaining. Zizzy, if you got a Remnant, are you gonna jump somewhere? No, no you're not, no you're not. Hanskin comes in, Black Hole's ready! MDW's bashed! Hanskin, what are you freaking doing? Honestly, turns back and destroys the Enigma. Now Zefrik's caught with a Nightmare as well. Way too, you've got no freezing field, no way of stopping this. A Snowball maybe can hold yourself out of this, but in comes the charging Mad Cow, and Zefrik's dead. He snowballs at the last second, Lip, the Remnants jump forward, they find the kill, and in comes Swindles with that Exorcism, Ghost flying around, they turned it, 4 dead, even with a buyback from Ember. I think that's worth it for Complexity, just to get themselves back into that fight. Oh, Hanskin, you're bashed. You're bashed, but in the end...
Whoever made that call to buy back on the Ember Spirit and to go for this fight, he's a genius, because realizing the fact that, hey guys, we can actually burst them down, because the Ember Spirit, like, they blew everything, right? So we could just burst them down, so yeah, it was pretty good. And if you're MJW, right before you die, like in your head it's already like We Are Electric playing, because you know, oh, this is like the 4-man black hole, and then
he didn't even use it though.
Yeah, but it would have been there.
Exactly, that's the thing.
So
like,
close.
This is what everyone talks about. Someone really famous and professional at Dota said it. You know, it's the threat. It might have been Puppy. You know, it's the threat of the black hole. Just the threat of that big AoE ultimate is in the back of your mind. Just like the Magnus RP, the Tidehunter Ravage. One of the biggest reasons why, you know, these heroes are frequently picked up in big LAN events is because of that threat. Knowing you've got this ability that can turn the tides in a team fight with, you know, 1 button press. It's scary as all hell. It's the fact he didn't use it there, though. I mean, that could have been glorious. Mid lane DD, yeah, Hanskin. You're going to bash it. Oh, no, Limp is going to scream him down. Goodness gracious me.
They can't really afford these kind of kills, especially since there was like a ward. It scouted at Hanskin. Zizzy was fully aware that Hanskin was sitting there. I don't know. It was a bit too sloppy, and yeah. Hanskin, honestly, he's been doing so much. He's setting up another kill at top. Actually, he's just gonna get him himself. Is he? Nah, he needs Jonas. Who's
killing it though? Iron Shells? No, Hanskin is what, 4-2-6. This Spirit Breaker is winning the game.
Going again. He wants more.
Oh god, Enigma died at bottom lane. But yeah, I'm looking towards mid. The charge is still coming through. Limp doesn't have his ultimate and blinks away. So Hanskin gonna get told, don't go in for this. Don't dive too deep. How are we looking item-wise? Because I've had the net worth open for a while, and you know, 3 of the top, well, the top 3 are all NiP, but Death Prophet's not too far back. You've got Mech Arcanes on Jonas, so he's very difficult to kill, and they're actually charging up to Zizzy again. He doesn't have a defensive remnant, does he? There's nothing that he can jump back to, but they still back themselves up. Bane Elemental, Arcanes, Hanskin, Treads. I mean, for a 4-roll Spirit Breaker, that's pretty good, having Treads 15 minutes in, you know? It's not too shabby.
Support Spirit Breaker, right?
Yep.
I mean, and look at MJW. He's the bottom of his team actually in terms of net worth, and this is just how this like offlane Enigma. Again, I think Ice, the way he plays it is like really good, and in theory it works out well. But I feel like you need to be able to play it. If it only works in theory, it's not worth it. I feel, and they maybe should have realized sooner.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
People are dying up at top.
Dire's structures
Crystal
are
Maiden drops.
fortified.
Ember Spirit gets himself back to a remnant, just okay. Now, Swindles does have his ultimate up. Level 2 Exorcism.
Oh,
Full
Limp.
Witchcraft
He's gonna find
over
two
on the
people.
side. The Silence. Orchid is there from Limp, and they can kill off MJW. The Black Hole still hasn't been used, and they won't get it either. Swindles and take down Hanskin with spooky ghosts.
Radiant's middle tower
One for one trade-off there, and honestly, you know, because of the Enigma being bottom of the net worth and Spirit Breaker being middle of the table, I kind of feel that's worth it. Even though the Enigma needs his mech. We're looking at, what, a 20-minute mech for the Enigma? This just
Dire's
isn't
bottom
great.
tower is under
Especially when you
attack.
think that Jungle Enigma can get mech brown boots by, you know, 10, 11.
I would have agreed with you if it hadn't been for the exorcism that they popped
Oh,
to use it.
yeah.
It actually just ran out, so they can't even use it to sort of like deal tower damage. So, in that regard, it definitely wasn't worth it. And in fact, there's another charge coming in. Sealkit is there. He has his Fiend Script.
They timed this. Oh, the charge is still coming through. Vacuum back, and in jumps Limp. Sonic Wave across them both, it looks like. And they'll kill off Swindles on the front, and on the back, down goes the Tusk. 2 down for nothing in exchange. They don't even get the tier 1. Like, I was looking at that fight, thinking, okay, Exorcism for the Spirit Breaker, and then you push into tier 1. But they didn't get the opportunity. It just wasn't there for them.
They didn't even need to use the Fiend Script. That's like how far ahead NiP is right now, just in terms of like items and experience. Death Prophet level 11 and Spirit Breaker level 9. I'm just pointing it out again. This Hanskin Spirit Breaker is definitely doing a lot of work, and I mean, interesting item decision from the Swindles coming out. I think it's more like a reaction towards the state of the game, going for the Rod of Atos. And generally, I don't think it's that bad of an item on a Death Prophet, but I feel like it's more of a defensive item in terms of like, oh yeah, I want to tank up a bit. I don't feel like the slow is really that good in this game here, but just because there's Surge, there's a Blink, of course, and
Charge.
there's also Charge as well. So.
That's the thing. There's Nightmare Fiend Script. There's Spin. There's Charge, Surge,
Dire's top
and Blink.
tower is
It's
under
good.
attack.
I fully agree with you. I think it's like a desperation. Oh god, I need
Radiant's
something
bottom tower
that
is
just
under
pads out
attack.
my stats that little bit, and Rod of
Dire's
Atos
middle tower
maybe is the
is
way to
under
go.
attack.
You know, it could potentially.
Oh, Swindles.
Swindles. Yeah, same reaction.
Okay, who's gonna get the kill?
Everybody.
Era! Oh, so close.
I should have said it. Of course it's Hanskin. Of course it is. 5, 3, and 7. The guy's getting every single bloody kill in the game.
Radiant structures
Now,
are fortified.
Death Prophet could be going. Yeah,
Radiant's
she is.
bottom
Okay.
tower
See,
is under
Vitality
attack.
Booster, I was looking at this and thinking casual Vit Booster. Go for the Octarine a little bit later on. Maybe a Heart, the kind of old school build where you go Yule's
Dire's top tower
um,
is under attack.
Vit Booster Plate Mail with the HP and the armor, and then you go for like a Heart Shivas.
Radiant's bottom tower
But now with
has been
Octarine Core, I
denied.
think that Yule Scepter Octarine is probably the go-to build. Vitality Booster just for the raw HP. Keep yourself that little bit tanky.
Dire's structures
While
are
you go for the Yule
fortified.
Scepter for the mobility, mana regen,
Dire's top
and
tower is
the
under
ability to
attack.
stop, you know, charges and surges out.
Dire's
MJW,
top
can you
tower
get a black hole? No, you get backed back into the wall,
Fuck,
and you
he's-
might actually be dead here. Z-Freak has got the Iron Shell up on him, and
Don't
charge is
hug
coming
him,
through.
don't!
Hansken, Era, chains up, but in comes the Mad Cow, bashes up Z-Freak, and there's no snowball for a couple of seconds. He's got it now, but what? Bash! He just bashes the hell out of him. No snowball available, and they're looking to dive. Damn.
Honest engines now, okay.
Manta Juggernaut, slicing and dicing, and that drawing on the map is pretty indicative of how this game's going for complexity. Guys, what the hell are you doing up there? Why are you dying? Because pre-20 minutes in, NiP are ready to push tier 3s. With Mech, Healing Ward, with, you know, all of their ultimates pretty much up outside of Fiend's Grip. GG is called, that's it, it's over. Complexity call it, they tap out 20 minutes in, NiP take game number 1.
Yeah, I can respect the GG call.
Radiant victory.
Really turning this around would have taken a long time, and also would have needed NiP to so like overextend in engagements, and it didn't really seem like they were going to do so. And even if they did, as you said, they have so much sustain with the Healing Ward, with the mech, and even like Urn and stuff. So NiP just completely outclassed them in the laning stage, I feel.
Well, Swindles didn't have enough time to buy or drop his Yule Scepter, so we won't see that happen again, but Ninjas in Pyjamas, dominant form, even after their performance last night against Alliance, looking pretty good in this game. But there's still a game number 2. 2-game series, guys. So we'll find out if it's going to be a sweep from NiP or if it's going to be drawn up by coL. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. I'm Durka, joining me is Skim. I'll have a short little break, and hopefully we'll get straight into game number 2. And just to let you know, both of these games are going to be on Luxembourg. So there is no US East game.